Welcome to the Netivot Shalom Shir. We're going to continuing studying the Netivot Shalom on Shabbos from this text of Netivot Shalom, volume 2, Beit, on page Kuf, which is 100. It's the part that says, V'ani sefilasi lecha Hashem eis ratzon. This is for the tefillah, from the tefillah that we say, Mincha on Shabbos. We say it just before Shemon Esrei. It says, my prayer to you will be, Hashem, that this shall be a time of great ratzon, great desire. You shall desire my tefillah. This should be a time that you'll listen to me carefully. So Motzino, he goes on to say, Motzino b'tefillah b'chinas tefillas alani. One of David HaMelech's Tillim number Kuf Beit, I believe 102, is called Tfilat Lani. It starts Tfilat Lani, a prayer for the poor man. And there's the aspect of, this is my prayer to you, should be a time of desire, a time of accepting my tefillah. Ksiv, it's written, Tefillah Lani, Ki Yatov, a prayer of the poor man. He's like covered up. He really can't get his thoughts out into the world. Lifnei Hashem yishpach sich, when he pours out his words to Hashem. And the Netivot Shalom goes on to say, he says, Ein ani ela badas. The greatest poverty is that of the mind. He says, Kol yemei ani roim. He says, all of the days of a poor person, a person who's impoverished, and going on with what he said, an ani is impoverished of the mind, are bitter. Vafilu Shabbos v'Yom Tov, even Shabbos and Yom Tov, he can't distinguish between them. Chamamer moram v'eisa. Yatov, the word Yatov is Miloshin Hatufim Lelavar. It's like covered in white. Ani Talmid, excuse me, Ani Talmid Acher, Umachmid Soitim, Hanelim. The poor man is always missing the times that are passing by him. Shoitelo his damnut lashuv litalot ayodam. He wants to have the opportunity. He wants to get these opportunities, but the opportunities are always passing him by. No matter what he does, he can't seem to connect, and he just, feels worse and worse all the time. Valkain, and therefore, Kol Yom of Roim, all of his days are bad. Afilu Shabbos Yom Tov, even Shabbos and Yom Tov. It's like a person who, how many of us will have had the opportunity in our life to do something that might have had tremendous impact on our lives, and we've not taken that opportunity. There are those who could have bought Apple stock when it was still in the garage, and they'd be billionaires today, right? They didn't do it, so are they going to go around beating themselves up because they didn't take that opportunity? It was offered to me, I didn't take it. So this is what the Ani Badas is, the poor man who's constantly thinking about the things that he missed. He's constantly missing things. And of course, by constantly thinking of that, helps you miss more opportunities. Tfilas Ani Kiyatov, the prayer of the poor man who was kind of covered up. He al tastir ponecha mimenu. He's asking Hashem, please, don't hide your face from me. Biyom tzarli, on the day of my difficulties. And then a few sentences later, it ends, Ki nesasani v'tashlicheni. He says, you lifted me up, and then you threw me down. Shemargish etz atzmo, he feels himself, me'rachok kol kach me'akadosh baruch hu. He feels very far from Hashem. That, of course, is the worst thing that can happen to a person. You're going through difficulties, and you feel that Hashem is not there for you. You feel that you're far away from Hashem. You feel that Hashem can't help you with what you're doing. We say in in the Rosh Hashanah tefillot and in the days leading up to Rosh Hashanah, Al tashlichenu milfanecha, don't cast me away from you. We want to be close to you always. Shetomid hu mesugar, the poor man is always feels like he's always closed. Upi v'libo segurim b'miskarim, his mouth and his heart are all closed. They're like an enclosed space. He can't get out of himself. B'chol b'kashaso, and all of his prayers are rak al tashlichem milfanecha. Please don't cast me away from you. Don't sever the bond between yourself and me. Shlo yinatek chas v'sholom l'chalaton mishorso. Don't sever the bonds, God forbid, between my roots and you. So I shouldn't be sent away completely from before Hashem. And therefore, he is pouring out his words to Hashem. Perish. Sheyizke lahargish kirvos Elokim. B'chinas lifnei Hashem. He wants to merit, to feel the closeness of Hashem, to be close to, in the aspect of being close to Hashem, ulasiach lefonav as hamayik et halibo, and to fulfill the depths of his heart by being close to Hashem. L'chal pachos, certainly beitim haguvoim shehem b'chinas lifnei Hashem, and the high times, where there are high times that you can reach as a Jew, those times certainly he wants to be close to Hashem. Be'esh ratzon, on this Eish ratzon, this time of desire, this time when Hashem accepts our tefillot shel Shabbos Kodesh on Shabbos. Shakadosh Baruch Hu meirim es kol Yehudi, a love only lifnei Hashem. Hashem lifts up every Jew so he can stand before Hashem. She'oz yizakelis nahir mitardosav shebacho yemos hashvua, because then we will merit to wake up from all of the difficulties of the days of the week, lamod lifnei Hashem, to stand before Hashem, lishpoch livovo, to spill out your heart, b'sicho lefonav, and your words before Him. All you have to do is make the effort. Make the effort, realize that there is something that's called Shabbos, and make the effort on Shabbos to get closer to Hashem. And then, by your making that effort, by your wanting to do it, Hashem will lift you up to these higher levels and let your prayers be heard and let you be able to speak kaviyachol one-on-one to Hashem. Tefillah To'ani Hazot, Hi Aldas Shebiarno, this prayer of the poor man is like we've explained above. I don't know if this abbreviation is, but Midrash, he explained the Midrash Rabbah. Al Aposik v'yotzik Kaim lifnei Hashem. After Kain killed his brother, the Pasuk says he went out from before Hashem. So he says, Pagabo Adam Harishon. Kain met Adam Harishon, met his father, and so on. Amrlo, and his father's asking, Adam is asking him, what's going on? What are you doing? What's happening with you? Amrlo, he says, Asisi tshuva. I did tshuva. I repented for what I did. But he's pasharti, and I reached an agreement with Hashem. In other words, Hashem was accepting my tshuva on Shabbos. This all happened on Shabbos. And this, again, what the agreement was, on Shabbos you'll have a Shabbos, you don't have to be a nov and not a wanderer and a fugitive. So miyad, Amar Amarishon, Adam Arishon immediately stood up, and after hitting himself on the head and saying, I didn't know that tshuva had that great power, Vomer Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbos, he composed the psalm Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbos, Adkan. She'inyan Asisi tshuva, the aspect of doing tshuva, I did tshuva. Nis pasharti, hu meloshin peshora, and I made an agreement. That's the language of peshora. When two people have a dispute and they agree on something to settle it. Dav should be most high shavua, that even though in the days of the week, na v'nad tia ba'aretz, I would be a wanderer and a fugitive in the earth, Toro de Mavobal Binyanim Haratzim, and constantly taken up with and confused with all of the things that make up every day. It's not talking just about Chaim, but every one of us. We have this Peshora with Hashem. We can have this settlement with Hashem. Mikol Makom. Nonetheless, B'Shabbos, Yochel Yizkar Hashem Yisborach. On Shabbos, we're able to come close to Hashem, and that's something we all have to realize. You have to try to do it. You're in an environment, you're surrounded by the envelope of Shabbos, by the holiness of Shabbos. You're in an environment that permits you to do it. Now, if you choose to ignore that environment, it's not going to happen. If you fall into a swimming pool and you don't decide to swim, the fact that you might know how to swim is not going to help you if you're not swimming. You got to take advantage of the environment that Hashem gives us.
Picture, good analogy.
So here we're in a swimming pool, we're in an envelope of holiness. But if you just ignore it and don't have the self-worth to know that I can reach this level and I can ascend from this level, go higher and higher, it's not going to do any good. And for this, because of this, Adam Rishon said, B'Shabbos, he said, Mizmor Shli Yom Shabbos. He authored that psalm. Kama Gadol Koach HaShabbos. How great is the power of Shabbos. Shigam Achrei Pagam Ko Chamor. That even after such a horrible sin, after horrible difficulty that you've done, Yochel Yizkar L'Hashem Yisborach Ayidei Shabbos Kodesh. You're still able to come close to Hashem through Shabbos. And you notice the wording here is Yochel L'Hitkarev. You're able to come close. Again, that underlines that you have to come close. Shabbos, Hashem gives us the opportunity on Shabbos to be able to get close, but you have to make that first step. L'Hitkarev. You have to come close first. Achein, therefore, the aspect of my prayer to you is this shall be a time of desire. This is a unique prayer of a Jewish person at the time of great desire. It's not enough. It's not enough for him to be satisfied with small requests. Just like the prayer of the poor person who just wants some rest from his difficulty. He wants to reach some kind of an agreement. El tefilaso imasegos hagdolos. The tefillah of the Jew on Shabbos should be on the highest level, to ask for the greatest things. Should tamid yeh lifnei Hashem, that he should be always before Hashem. And Hashem will answer me in truth and be my salvation. Yeshua Amitit, true salvation. Bechinas Geula Shlema, a perfect redemption. Tikkun HaGomor, and the complete tikkun, the complete fixing. Thank you. Complete fixing. Shetimali Horetz Deya Es Hashem, which happens when the whole world will know the knowledge of Hashem. Ki Omnam Hayud Hanavui Hazeh, and certainly this prophetic statement, when the whole world will know Hashem, Gam B'chol Yochid, also with every individual, Uprat Kishabal Tikkuno HaGamor, only when he comes, and specifically when he comes to this complete fixing. Shekvar Lo Yeh Noah V'Noad Ba'artziot, so that he will no longer be a wanderer and a fugitive in the land. And this is what Shabbos can do to you. It can take you away from your wandering, your fugitive, your difficulties of the week, and put you in this environment where you don't have to worry about it. V'gam minyani haaretz yihu meleim deya Hashem, and all of the aspects of the world will be full of the knowledge of Hashem. As we say on Shabbos night, Shetrachmeni od bagalusi, you will have mercy on me in my exile, Legoleni, and to redeem me, to wake up my heart to your love. That's what, when Kabbalah Shabbos comes, we really want to wake ourselves up, wake our spirits up, to be able to come close to this love relationship with Hashem. And you're asking Hashem to do that. Now, the quote that was just here was from the prayer which only is said by Nusach Svard, by Kagavna De'iman. But it tells you the message that we want Hashem to help us and have mercy on us in this exile, but also get us out of this exile, bring the redemption, and wake us up, wake up my heart, or libi. It's on each individual. Wake up my heart to serve you and to love you. That's the true redemption. The true redemption is when you can bring yourself to that level. Balzos yispalel. Excuse me. Kol chassid ilech aleis mitzvah. This is what every righteous person is praying at the time of doing a mitzvah. Eis mitzvah hu eis rotzon. The time of doing a mitzvah is a time of wanting to be close to Hashem. Because the whole purpose of any mitzvah is to bring you closer to Hashem, to have this devekus with Hashem. Shekol echad yeshlo es regov hatoim tovim. Everybody has good times. Bizman haniskav shel Sholashidus. Here we come to Sholashidus again. Remember we talked about in the past, Sholashidus is the highest of Shabbos. Starts with Kabbalah Shabbos. Again, going back and remembering the references to the bridal ceremony. The first thing you have Kabbalah Shabbos, you have the engagement, and then Shabbos day, after Shachris and Musaf, you have the going under the chuppah, and then Sholashidus is the yichud, getting together alone with Hashem. But tzorich l'das, you have to understand ma levakesha is what you should be asking then. Lo listapek b'bakoshos katanos kalos arach. Don't ask for little things. Ela neini be'emes yishecha. Answer me in the truth of your salvation. Yeshua amitit v'shloma. True redemption and complete redemption. I'm reminded of the story that we're told many times of the king who got upset with his son and sent him away from the palace. And the son went out and started living with a bunch of bandits in the forest. And the king, sometime later, got worried about his son, what he was doing, so he sent out his messengers to go find his son and see what's happening and see what he needed. And they found him there, and kind of in grubby clothes and a grubby group of people, and they tell him that your father, the king, sent us, and he said to grant you whatever you'd want. He says, well, you know what I need? I really need a new pair of galoshes. So here, this is what he's telling us. When you have the opportunity to ask for something from the king, don't ask for a pair of galoshes. Don't ask for the little things. Ask for the big things. Don't ask for boots, right?
Also, I think you understand how the repetition of the importance of Sudat Shlishit, you get Reb Shlomo's had very few things that really bothered him, and one of them was talking during Sudat Shlishit. He went crazy.
We're talking during Zmira.
Zmira, so
Yeah.
Sudat Shlishit, yeah. He went crazy. He just did not tolerate it.
Right.
But
Because-
you understand the power of it. You're starting to understand anyway the power of it.
Right. And you're the last waning moments of Shabbos. You have a chance to really come close to Hashem, bring yourself closer to Hashem. And it's not a time for idle chatter. Talking is good. It's good to talk to people, but that's a time to get close to Hashem. That's a time to really, really pour out your heart to Hashem through song. Song is the great ladder that the neshama climbs to heaven. And it's just... Also, another explanation of this sentence, my prayer before you should be a time of desire. Al pi man domer b'Zohar Kodesh, and we said this many times too, as the Holy Zohar said, the Chol Birchon Dileila V'Sata B'Yom HaShabbos Nitolein, all of the blessings from on high and from on low, blessings of your spiritual blessings and the blessings of the material blessings, they all come from Shabbos. Vinyanu al pi madomer b'Toras Avos, Parshas V'Yetzei, Mimor Saba Kodesh Mishlonim Chuzgaleni, as his grandfather said, Al Aposk V'Hine Sulam Mutzav Arza. In Yaakov's dream, he saw a ladder with the bottom of it standing on the ground, Baroshu Magia Hashumaima. And the head of the ladder, the top of the ladder, was reaching heaven. Vini Hashem Nitzav Olav, and Hashem was standing on it. Diesh Shtei Ofnei Hanhoga. There are two different ways that Hashem leads Yisrael, leads Bnei Yisrael. Hanhoga Tavit, there's a natural way. Api Seder Hanikavos Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah, everything is determined what's going to happen to you during the next year. And we say that in the Tfilos, who's going to live, who's going to die, who's going to be rich, who's going to be poor, who's going to be sick, who's going to be well, etc., etc. It's all determined. So that's the first way. That then becomes written in the laws of nature. Hashem has described this. That's nature. V'zeu perish sulamutz arza. And that's the ladder with the bottom standing in the ground. V'yesh od hanaga el yona. There's a higher method. Shakadosh Baruch Hu b'chvodo v'atzu manhiga, that Hashem in his own self, by himself, in his own glory, leads us. She lamala mikol seder. This is above any ordained order of things. It's not dependent on what was decreed on Rosh Hashanah for you. And this is what it means. Hashem nitzav olav. Hashem is standing upon you. The higher leadership, the higher method of leading the Jew, Hamasora b'yad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Hashem has, b'chvod of Atzmo, and his holiness in himself. Behind this is Hashem Yisborach Ritzono Le'etiv. What does Hashem really want? Hashem's will is to do good for us. Bottom line, Tov Hashem Lakol. Hashem is good to all. We have to recognize that. Even though things, as the Rabbi from Berdichev once said, he says, oftentimes we look at something and we think this is not good. He says, B'sof davar, kishnira hadavar, at the end, when things are finally revealed, you will see that everything is good. Kol Tov. And this is Hashem's desire to do good for us. V'afim b'Rosh Hashanah, al pi hanhaga musoderas, lo nigzor alav chas v'sholom l'tov. Even if chas v'sholom on Rosh Hashanah, in the decrees that were given on Rosh Hashanah as part of the order of the world, if they weren't, God forbid, for good, adayin yochel hamshich Yeshua v'rachmim. There's still the opportunity to continue with salvation and mercy, Manhaga Halyona, from this higher level of Hashem ruling over his people. Sheila mikol seder v'teva. It's over and above all manners of nature. This is what the Zohar Kodesh, the Holy Zohar, said, that all the brachas come from Shabbos. Shekol sidrei hanhaga v'ofhanei hashpa nishpoim aydei Shabbos Kodesh. All of the good, all of the flowing of the good flows out through Shabbos. Hein berchan del eila This is the blessings of above, spiritual blessings. Hainu Anhaga Halyona Sheila Elu Ela Mikol Dargon Ulmal Mikol Seder. These are things that are higher than every aspect of nature. And there's also the blessings of the material things. Hainu Hanhaga Hatavit, the natural things al Pia Seder, through the normal order of things. Kula Nishbot Ayidei Shabbos Kodesh. All of them are flowing to us through Shabbos. Bechinas Bechinosav, Shabbos, V'Shvi, K'Mavur El. The aspect of Shabbos and the seventh day, as we've explained above. Obviously, if you've got something flowing and you want to catch it, you want it to stick with you, what do you have to do? You have to be a kli. You have to be a receptacle. Same thing, none of these things just happen automatic, but it's there. It's pouring down. This shefa is pouring down to us. Just open up your hands and catch it. V'zeo Perush. This is what it means. V'ani tzifilos l'cha Hashem eis ratzon shomrim b'shalosh shidas shel Shabbos kodesh. And we say on shalosh shidas of Shabbos. It's actually before shalosh shidas. Balos hamincha, when mincha comes up. Be'eis ratzon hagadol. At this great time, Rabba de Ravin, of great desires of desires. Bechinas man de Yasevi malka. It's like somebody who's sitting with the king. Kalma de boy. Sha'il gabe v'yoivli. And the king says, anything that you ask for me, I will give to you. Even those things, even those things you can't get through nature. This is what we're asking. I ask for my prayer. My prayer to you is to give me a neis ratzon, a time of acceptance of my tefillah. She's na'igimonu anhagu elyona, to act towards us with this higher level. Shall lecha Hashem, you Hashem, hamasora rak bidei Hashem. I want to be only in your hands, Hashem. You remember that in the Tillim that we say before Rosh Hashanah, the David Hashem Ori. What does Hashem? What does David HaMelech say? He says, "Acha shualti meis Hashem." I only want one thing from you, Hashem. Shivti beveis Hashem kol yimei chayai, to live in your house all days of my life. And of course, the question is asked. I've said this before. David HaMelech had only one request of Hashem. He had many, but all of the requests, everything else that he asks, fits within this, living within the house of Hashem. Shivti beveis Hashem kol yimei chayacha. Every mitzvah you do is to get you to that level of living in Hashem's house. This way of Hashem acting is not dependent as to whether or not you are fulfilling what Hashem wants or not. That's why this is such a great time. Now, we know that by asking this question, by recognizing that you're feeling removed from Hashem and you're wanting to get closer, you are that in itself is the utmost tshuva. You're asking to return to Hashem. So it doesn't matter what you've done before. Right now is what Hashem's looking at. And this is the continue. Hashem, barov chazdech aneni b'emes yishach. God, with all of your kindness, answer me in truth with salvation. Shalachur temua omru b'emes. It's kind of strange to have this word in truth here. Why is he saying in truth? Share, we know that Ato Hashem, emes, you Hashem are true. Dvorcha emes, your word is true. V'chosmo shel kadosh baruch emes, your seal is the seal of Hashem is truth. V'chol ha'yeshuos, all the salvation shel kadosh baruch hu moshia heim be'emes, all the salvation that Hashem does for us is in truth. Ela the Ka'amir sheyesh ofen hanhaga hamusuderes. It's explained by understanding that there are ways of dealing with the things that are normally set before us. Sha'al perish l'pa'amim yev shalomali mishalos. There's times that these desires cannot be fulfilled. Sha'al pi seder ein roi lezeh. through the normal course of things, you can't get what you're asking for. O she'ein zeh tov avor, or maybe these things really aren't good for you. Avo shalashidus, and shalashidus, azai, ani sivilas Hashem es ratzon. My prayer to you, Hashem, this shall be a time of great acceptance of my tefillot. Hashem barov chazdecha, you in the midst of in the greatness of your mercy, aneni, answer me, be'emes yishecha, in truth, for my salvation. Sheta aneni banhaga helyona shalacha Hashem, answer me on the aspect of the way you lead the world in the highest levels. Shan hagazu hi Yeshua amiti. This is the true Yeshua, the true redemption. She'ena tului b'shum seder v'cheshbon. It's not dependent on any order or any accounting. Birak l'cha Hashem, and this is only to you, Hashem, bringing me closer to you, Hashem, giving me the opportunity to be able to sit in your house. V'ois ratzon elyon, and this higher acceptance, shel shalashidus, is mesugul lahamshich hanhagazu, is designed to continue in this kind of a situation. Taman the Yasiv in Malka. Remember always that if you're sitting with the king, kol ma the boy shoyel gabi vayoivlo. Everything you ask of the king, he will give for you. That's the opportunity we have on Shabbos. It's the opportunity we have, especially on Shalashidus.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.